Hey YouTube, I am sitting in my driveway waiting for FedEx to come, and it'll be a miracle if they come here because they do not have the right address and I could not get it changed in the system, but that's going to be the subject of this whole video. About 3 weeks ago, I drowned my iPhone 6s. It is not coming back to life. I spent about 2 weeks looking for a used, unlocked, or AT&T specific iPhone 7 or higher with decent battery life if you check the battery health, and I couldn't find any. And most of the people I contacted did not get back to me whatsoever. I eventually decided to just get a new phone. AT&T had a buy one get one free offer going on, plus you got a $300 Visa card. You had to buy a phone, pay full price, get a second one free, change to unlimited service, and one of the new phones had to be a brand new line. You can cancel one of your existing lines to make that one a new line, which I didn't really want to do because everywhere my phone number is, I gotta update it. And I start trying to go through adding the phone to my shopping cart and all that, and I couldn't get through it. I could only add one phone, I couldn't add a second phone. So I started a little chat window, and the guy's chatting with me, and he says, oh, I can help you. So we start going over what I want. I want 2 iPhone XRs, 128 gigs. Oh, no activation fee. So he's like, yeah, we can do all that. And he says, well, you're going to have to cancel your personal telephone line, the one associated with this phone. He was going to do that afterwards, but I wasn't too happy with that. I wanted to do it before. While I'm chatting with him and he's trying to go through my order, I got on the phone with AT&T and said I want to cancel this line. When you go to cancel line with AT&T, you get transferred to the customer loyalty department, which I got a guy named Dan, and I start talking with Dan, and Dan says, you don't have to cancel your line. I can give you 2 iPhone XRs, 128 gigabytes for $400 off each phone, and you do not have to change to unlimited. So I'm like, oh really? He says, yes, you've been a very loyal customer for many years, and we can offer you that. And so I'm like, great. And he said, no activation charge, no fees, nothing. Just buy the 2 phones for $400 off each. So I said, super, let's do it. I ended the chat with the guy. I said, look, I'm online with the AT&T loyalty guy, and I'm not going to go through with the order that you've been working on. Get back on with Dan in loyalty, and he starts adding the 2 iPhones and saying, oh, I have to go get approval from my manager to waive the activation fees. So he does everything, and everything seems to be good. So we charged for the 2 iPhones and tax. It was $738.48 got charged, and my wife wanted it on her Discover card because she gets rewards. That was all well and good, and then before we hang up, Dan says, do you know you're eligible for an upgrade on 2 of your other phones on your family plan? And I said, no. He says, yes, I can offer you 2 iPhone 7s for 99 cents each. And I'm like, really? And he says, yeah, and no activation fee or anything like that. So I said, okay, I'll do it. And so one of the phones was an iPhone 4. And Dan had trouble upgrading that phone. Dan said, I'm going to have to get back to you. Somebody will call you back. And he ended the call. So I waited all day and nobody called back. The next day, nobody called back. Midday, I call up and I said, hey, I was working with a guy named Dan. We were going to get 2 iPhone 7s for 99 cents and no activation fees. That guy I talked with said, okay, I can follow through with that. And so we start talking to him, and he's setting stuff up. And he says, oh yeah, and that iPhone 4, you have to activate visual voicemail and something else. So he added that to our plan, and I thought we were going to be charged nothing for activation fees or anything, but when I went back and looked at the agreement, there was no activation fee on the first one. That was correct, but there was a $20 charge, which might have been for the changing the iPhone 4 to have visual voicemail. I didn't actually look very carefully down there. I just saw 0, and I said, okay, great. Just hit okay. The second phone had a $45 activation fee. My mistake for not being more careful. So the guy on Saturday took our order for 2 iPhone 7s. He said that the cost was 99 cents each plus tax. I paid a total of $58.18. He said, do you want to put that on your AT&T bill? I said, sure. I forgot to mention, we are up in Maine, and I want to get this phone before we go back to Massachusetts. I gave Dan, who spoke a little Chinese-ish, the address up here in Maine, which is 3008 Spruce Drive, Carrabassett Valley, Maine. When I was on the phone with the second guy, he said, do you want me to send you a copy of your invoice? And I said, sure, send me a copy of the invoice for yesterday's and today's. So he sends me the invoice for the 2 iPhone 7s. That's perfect. He sends me the invoice for the 2 iPhone XRs from the day before, and the guy has not 3008 Spruce Drive, Carrabassett Valley, Maine. He has 3008 Strouce, Spruce Drive, Carrabassett, Zelly, Maine. So I'm like, oh shit. So I talk with this guy. Let me get his name. The second guy I talked with was Tony. So I'm talking with Tony, and I said, can you fix the address after he sent me the invoice? And he says, no, I can't do that in the system. We would have to cancel the order, and these phones have not shipped. We would have to cancel the order and re-input the whole thing. I spent 74 minutes talking with Dan the day before. I spent 47 minutes talking with Tony. So Tony told me I'd have to call FedEx on Monday when the phones ship. And the 2 iPhone 7s going to Massachusetts had the correct address. They shipped. The people who received them already have them. My wife's iPhone XR, which is coming to Maine, is coming today. My iPhone, to replace my broken iPhone, isn't coming. It's still not shipped. So yesterday, we are sitting in the car. She got a notice on her phone that her Discover card was charged another $349 for a second, or third phone, really. So we're like, oh my God, what's up with this? So we call back AT&T. We get someone who speaks with a very heavy Latino accent, and she talks so fast. She'd say, thank you for holding, and be like, hold on, you got to slow down. I can't understand what you're saying. And because it was fast and it had an accent. So we finally said, I'm really sorry. Can we just have someone who speaks a little bit better English? I just can't understand you. We got somebody else. We're talking with that woman. She gives us to somebody in billing, and person says, oh, they couldn't ship both of your phones out from the same facility, so they had to do a charge on your card so they could ship it out of a different warehouse. I don't get it. But that's what she said. And she said the charge should show up as pending, which it did on Discover, and it should drop off in a few days. I don't know. My phone's still not shipped. The charge is still showing up. So we left it at that. I forgot something. That was Monday. Sunday, I get an email saying, review your order. And I'm like, I already did this. I go in and I review the order, and there's $90 worth of activation fees. And I'm like, wait a minute, I have an email saying 0, and that was for the 2 iPhone XRs. Monday I get the charge on the Discover card. Tuesday, which is today, I get another email saying review your order, and it says you are being charged $180 now, which is for activation fees. So I call up, I get a guy named Jeremy. Jeremy tells me there's nothing they can do until the bill hits, which is the same thing they told me when I got the first $90 activation fee. Nothing they can do until the bill hits. So, I hope this is FedEx. So one thing I forgot, when I got a shipping number from FedEx, I went onto my FedEx account and logged in and tried to change the address on that ship tracking number. And it wouldn't let me do it without adding that address to my list of known addresses. But it wouldn't let me add that address to my list of known addresses because it was an invalid address. So I called FedEx and I talked with the guy, and he says, well, the shipper, AT&T, has put restrictions on it which does not allow you to change the address. So I'm like, oh brother, I can't believe this. So I asked him to add a note saying what the correct address was. He said he was going to, but he didn't, as far as I know, because the FedEx guy didn't know the correct address. Oh my God, it's FedEx. It's FedEx. Did they put a note in there? Or in your delivery instructions?
All it said was this is the correct address. Like, this is a Spruce Drive, and then there's a Spruce Creek in Carrabassett.
Okay.
There's only 2 roads really. And on that one, you know, the way they planned out the entire town is like anything in the 3,000 over here or on that bridge and road. 5,000 is actually on Sugarloaf on the mountain.
Well, good job. I am impressed. I'm very impressed. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, FedEx came. Got my wife's new iPhone. That's awesome. Now that guy said there was no note in the description. How he found this is because 3008s are all over this side of the road. 5,000s are up on the mountain. That's the first good news we have had. Hopefully within a few days I will get my own iPhone. So the one phone arrived at the wrong address, and I thought the second phone would arrive no problem at the wrong address, but Tuesday night, same day the one phone arrived, the second phone got canceled. So in the morning I called up AT&T and I talked with, first I tried to chat because I wanted to type in the correct address. I didn't want to give it over the phone to somebody and have it come out wrong. So I tried to do it over chat. The guy on chat could not give me the customer loyalty discount. So I had to call up customer loyalty. I got another Chinese kind of speaking person who, Angie, and Angie took my order, spelled Spruce wrong again, but I did the Sierra Tango Echo kind of spelling for her and got it correct. And after 41 minutes, I reordered my blue iPhone. And then I thought, I better ask, is that in stock or is that back ordered? Because if it's back ordered, I want to just change the color to something that's available. So she checked and she said black and white were the only things that were available. And I said, okay, let's change to white. She had to cancel the whole order. What is wrong with their damn systems? You can't just change the color of a phone. She had to cancel the whole order and restart with a brand new order with a white phone. And after a full 1 hour, I finally had a white phone ordered. So 40 minutes for the first, and then 20 more minutes to change the color. Just crazy. So here we are Friday, and my order is still showing as in progress, not shipped, and I don't know when it's going to ever get here. I hope it gets here before we leave Maine. That'll be a great time if I have to cancel it again and re-add it for a different address. That's where we stand now. Today's Friday, 1 week from the day I ordered my phone, and I have 3 phones I didn't need, and I'm still waiting for the 1 phone that I do need. Hey everybody, does it look like I aged any? I look older without a hat on. I started this whole process on August 9th. Today is August 21st. I just received my phone. This took 1 week and 1 day to get to me. The in-stock white iPhone XR took 1 week to get to me. Yesterday, I got on chat and I said, where the hell's my phone? And the guy says, well, it looks like it's going to ship between 8/21, which is today, and 8/24. And I'm like, okay, I can wait it out, but the phone has finally arrived. And it's really strange. So yesterday I was chatting with a guy. About half an hour afterwards, I get an email saying, your phone's going to ship tomorrow to the 21st. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of strange I got that email, but maybe they're just following up with the chat. A little while later, I get an email saying my phone is shipped. Huh? I get on chat, and then within like 2 hours, my phone has shipped. Coincidence? Or did they forget about this or something? I don't know. It's so bizarre, everything that has happened. By the way, I gotta say, FedEx is amazing. They received, as far as I can tell, this order at 5:32 p.m. yesterday. And they shipped the phone from York, Pennsylvania, and it arrived in Carrabassett Valley, Maine, which is pretty remote, at 2:21 p.m. today. That's 21 hours later. Way less than 1 day. It's amazing to me how they can transport things that far, that fast. But back to the video. So I have my phone. I have to check my frickin' bill to see what I've been billed, and I'll probably create a separate video if I have issues. Hopefully I'll only be charged $350 for 2 iPhone XRs and 99 cents for 2 iPhone 7s, and no activation fees. But if that is not the case, I will make another video. If I don't have a part 2 to this video, everything worked out. And I'm hoping it works out. Thanks for watching. This has been a nightmare. Bye.